This is more like it. I've met that fellow before with the watercraft. Anyway, he goes crabbing. And there's Rosie. We had our walk this morning and it wasn't too traumatic. Only one person scolding us. Can you get your dogs? It's weird, I'm not getting as upset anymore. I think this is just what my soul needed. You know, to spend some non-stressful time at the beach, hearing the ocean, you know, because I mean, it's been actually really quite a grind in the last 3 weeks, especially. Working hard at the deli, 8-hour shifts with a knee injury that I sustained the day before I started. So the first couple of weeks I was in a lot of pain, and I've just started to feel better this week. But just trying to save gas and waiting for that first paycheck, you know, I basically wasn't visiting, I wasn't driving anywhere. Like the minimum amount to not get any bylaw tickets and the minimum amount to keep my battery charged for my fridge mainly. And, you know, the occasional use of the furnace because it's actually snowed again here in Victoria, and that is like not usual. So I thought we had one big snowstorm, you know, in January, and then it snowed again this morning when I was walking the dogs on the beach. And I guess what I'm realizing is that I'm somewhat traumatized from struggling and worrying if I'm going to run out of gas and worrying if somebody's going to come and knock on the door or yell at me for something related to living in the RV, which I've had happen. Never knowing when the next time is that somebody's going to yell at you, you know, and just think that they have every right, you know, to treat you however they feel like treating you based on what they might think of you, based on their judgments of what you are, because you're living in an RV. So, and then I'm also, you know, from the dogs. I'm traumatized from the dogs. You know, just the number of times that they've eaten human shit. You know, because there's people that are trying to subsist on the beach and they leave things, like they leave garbage and they shit there, and it's just, I haven't been back because like 3 times in fairly close succession, you know, the girls found shit. And one day I just went to give Sadie a treat, and next thing I knew I had shit on my hand. Need I say more? And I was like, oh my God. And, you know, I had to drag her into the ocean, I'm soaking wet, you know, wash the shit off my hand, off of her face. And then the same with Rosie, having to repeat that whole. And it's honestly, when stuff goes wrong with the dogs, where I have to like yell at them to stop, you know, stop eating that, or leave it. You know, I'm so tired of being yelled at by people. I have been yelled at in the last 4 months since coming to Victoria, more than I've been yelled at in 25 years. Easily. And maybe more, maybe even longer, maybe 30 years, maybe 35 years. Like, it was not my experience, even with having dogs. And I've had dogs. I've had off-leash dogs. I have never honestly been yelled at so much. And it's taking a toll. It is stressful. It's stressful to have to wonder, you know, you're on the beach, seemingly you're almost by yourself, and then suddenly you're not by yourself, and just having to wonder if that person is gonna yell at you. You know, and then it's like, they have to tell me that my dog is limping. It's like... And these people, most of them mean well, but they, for the most part, they expect an explanation. And they expect to know exactly what's going on. And they expect to be able to fill your ear with whatever their advice is. And considering that this happens at least twice per walk, it's exhausting. I'm at the point now where, you know, like the last time I had a conversation, actually to get into the whole medical history of my dog, that she'd had a condition, panosteitis, and, you know, is more prone to injuring that one part because, you know, because she's had this inflammatory condition. And that satisfied her. Oh, now it makes sense why. It's like, I'm thinking of like doing a printout and making multiple copies so that when people, then I can just hand it to them and be like, and with my number of like, you know, if you want to report me, go for it, you know, but here's your explanation. And I'm going to say like, sorry, thank you for your concern, but I'm engaging in these conversations 2 to 3 times a day, and I'm finding it a bit draining. Here's your explanation of what's going on with my dog and her entire medical history. You know, and here's my name and number if you want to like have somebody follow up, you know, and make sure that she's all right. You know, it's like, whoa. I thought this was going to be like a quick, you know, 2 minutes video, but here I am kind of going on and on about stuff that's quite negative, and that was not my intention. You know, so it shows that there's still a lot of decompressing to be done from just this really intense schedule of the 8-hour shifts and trying to walk the dogs before and walking the dogs at lunch and walking, you know, taking the dogs out after. It was my morning ritual, basically. Make coffee and walk the dogs and enjoy the peace and quiet, enjoy the ocean. And I guess just lately, it's been so hard to do that. I haven't really been able to walk. I've started like, so the last 3-4 days I've walked some short distances. Today we went down the beach, and I feel marginally better, you know. Obviously there's still more decompressing to do, but I feel like I need to go camping. I feel like I miss, you know, Mother Nature. All the peace and the sanity that it brings me. I desperately miss campfires, and I need to go camping. That's the bottom line. I need to go camping for a few days. And as one of my favorite outdoor YouTubers, Brooke, says, Girl in the Woods, get outside and get happy. And that's definitely what I need to do. But yeah, RV life, traveling, RV life in a small rural, you know, outdoorsy kind of town is great, really great. But RV life in a city, having to boondock and always look over your shoulder, and just not having the money to fix something if something should go wrong, not having enough money in the bank where I'm always having to worry about gas, that sucks. So that is definitely the main thing. It's a huge difference. It's like a night and day difference. And I think I've been doing this urban, semi-urban, urban boondocking now for so many months. I think it's been 4 months, I guess. And that I think I've just between that and all the yelling, I think I'm in a bit of a mental funk. And I need to get a fresh perspective. I need to get out of town, get into nature, get somewhere where I'm allowed to be. That would be great. That would be the ideal. This today was a really good indication that what I, you know, am missing is, like, I used to come down to the beach and spend, you know, a good part of the day at the beach, like at least twice a week, if not more. And I haven't been doing that in now, you know, over 3 weeks. So, like, I've been living more in the scarcity, poverty mentality of like, I can't spend the gas to go to the beach for the day. You know, I can't drive to Langford. I can't go to Machosen. I can't, you know, I can't. And yeah, I didn't have the money, but wow. There was part of my batteries that are my internal batteries being drained, and no beach ocean time to help recharge. So that's basically what happened. And I met this really cool chick on the beach this morning. One of those chance encounters, you know, and when you meet someone new, you know, you just never know how it can change your life. And even if I never see her again, I feel like we're gonna remember that conversation, and that conversation, you know, created a spark in both of us for the time that we were having it. And it's things like that, you know, that can just linger throughout years and have an impact and leave an impression, you know. And I will, if I never see her again, I will remember her for sure. Anyway, it's really cool. You know, I am feeling marginally better in terms of my outlook is slightly more positive from this brief time at the beach. I think I might try and spend more time at the beach today and tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is the reality of, you know, living well below the livable wage in a city, in an RV with 2 dogs. Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. This video has been really hard to edit because I can see what a just like negative vibe, but that's also really important. Even I really firmly believe in journaling, because, you know, even if you're just talking about day-to-day minutia, it's like, whoa, I was really in the minutia, or wow, I really, you know, was in a funk. And, you know, as moving in and out of various states of mind, and, you know, what seems to be standing out the most can, you know, I'll own that, has provided a lot of self-insight for me. And it was something that was recommended to me when I was 19 by someone who was in therapy, who was like, journal, write everything down about your day. And as you go back, it's like the things that you noticed will tell you something more about, you know, about yourself and your state of mind. And he said, what's more important than what happened is how you felt about what happened. So anyway, that's why I'm gonna keep a lot of this, although I've cut a lot of it out, because it's like, you know, you guys don't need to hear all that, all the minutia of why it's so important, you know. It's like, no. Zoom out. So that's what I've tried to do here in editing.